Oh, it's so good to be free.
Hi, I'm Brittany of the homesteadchallenge.com. I am a military spouse, mother, homemaker, and attempting to be a beginner homesteader. So we are from Ohio, but have lived in Alabama and Hawaii, and now Alabama again. So moving all around doesn't really allow you to be, the homesteader that you think of when you think of homesteading. So it is my challenge to incorporate all of the principles of beginner homesteading into my household, wherever that might be, and my goal is to challenge you to do the same. So I really hope that you will join me. If you are interested in this type of content, please subscribe and hit that little notification bell to be notified whenever I create a new video. And I always have like daily, weekly inspiration over on my Instagram, Brittany L. Gibson. So check me out over there. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about what homesteading means to me. So this whole homesteading journey began really when I had my son Jack. So that was in 2019. And I'd always been kind of sustainably minded. I've always kind of done the bare minimum when it came to sustainability, and I've always cared about it, but I really was a little bit lazy and just didn't know a whole lot. But as he was born, I was doing all of this crazy research as one does before they have their first kid, and I really wanted to find ways to be more sustainable than I already was. So that kind of began my journey with the sustainability, but then in 2020 fashion, as everyone was baking bread and using sourdough for the first time, my best friend Amanda and we actually have kids that are only a month apart. So we were like, we gotta start learning how to make some of this stuff and do some of this stuff. So we started an Instagram challenge that we labeled the Homestead Challenge. And we challenge people each week to do, learn a new task. In homesteading, there is so much to learn. So as we went through it, we did it all in the fall of 2020. And then at the end of the fall, I just thought that there was so much still that I wanted to learn that I created the homesteadchallenge.com as well as this YouTube channel. So I'm super new to the YouTube world, and I really, hope that you join me on this homesteading journey. So homestead is really something that's hard to define. When we think of a homestead, we think about people with farms raising cows and chickens and goats. We think of people, maybe they have 20 kids running all around. And I watch all those channels on YouTube and I absolutely love them. But for me, it wasn't really relatable because I'm never going to be able to have that kind of homestead. I'm actually kind of a city gal, but I just love the idea of country living and the idea of making things from scratch and, making as much food as we possibly can here and then sourcing whatever we can't make on our own. So to me, that's what homesteading is all about. It's the from scratch living, natural living, making your own food when you can, and then finding the best quality, best sourcing of everything that you can't find on your own. Homesteading looks a little bit different for everyone, and while that ideal homestead is wonderful, and I love to watch videos of people that have all of those things. I love to follow them along on blogs. I think it's so interesting and you can learn so much from them, but that's just not me. And I just truly, don't want people to be excluded thinking, well, I'm never going to have a farm, so I can't homestead, or, I'm never going to have this, or I'm never going to be able to have a cow, or whatever it might look like for you. I just truly want everyone to be able to homestead. If you want to have those principles in your life, then I think that you can homestead too. So I'm using the principles of homesteading to reach my goals in different ways. So my main goals really are sustainability, health, and financial freedom, not just for myself, but for my family as a whole. With sustainability, there's so many different ways that homesteading can lead to it. From the from scratch cooking and less packaging, from making your own food or buying local. It's definitely a way to kind of take your sustainability journey to the next level. As far as health goes, I'm not a gal that's into diets at all. I never have been, but I have struggled in the past with stomach issues, gaining weight, all sorts of things like that. And while I'm never someone that's probably going to eat a salad, I have found that homesteading or making food from scratch and eating less prepackaged food has actually helped me a lot, especially with the stomach issues, and I just feel better. So I am not a nutritionist in any way. I'm not a health professional. I'm not here to give you any advice on eating in any certain way. But just, I know for me and my family, it has made us all feel a lot better to be, getting back to the basics of food, eating really simple foods, whole foods, natural foods. As far as financial freedom goes, making food from scratch really can save a lot of money, but also the idea of homesteading brings about a slower way of living. It brings about contentment, and with contentment, it's just helped me a lot. I've always been, a hyper consumer in the past, always wanting to buy the next thing. And while I still sometimes fall into that trap, I feel like I am so much better than I've ever been, just from really slowing down and taking time to enjoy everything that we have here at home. So of course, my way of homesteading is not the only way to homestead. As I said before, usually when you think of homesteading, you think of these large farms, everything like that. And honestly, there's just so many different ways to homestead. So I really want to create a community of beginners here, but I think that we can all learn from each other. On the online community, there are so many different types of homesteaders, from the beginner like me all the way to the seasoned expert. There is always something new to learn. And that's why I find homesteading so exciting, because there are just so many different things to learn. You can literally learn for the rest of your life and still not know it all, which is pretty amazing, and it's really fun as you slowly start to get a hang of some of these things. So with that being said, I've actually partnered up with several other bloggers and YouTube channels, and I am going to have them all linked in the description box below. So go check out their homesteads. There are some there that are beginners just like me, and there are some that are super seasoned experts that have farms. There are some that are beginning farms for the first time ever. And this online community really inspires me, and I hope that they inspire you too. So if you are interested in a more sustainable, healthier, and even more financially savvy life, then please, as I said, I would love for you to subscribe and join me here in this challenge. And let's just do it all together. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.
Oh, it's so good to be free. Your rules don't apply to me, no. I blow away all the pressure to measure up to what don't mean nothing.